Hi everyone, thank you for your time. My name's Frances Piancos. I'm from Covidence. Thank you particularly to the library for giving me the opportunity to showcase Covidence. Covidence is an online platform that enables you to streamline your systematic review. So we are a not-for-profit. It's really our mission to improve the quality of evidence synthesis and its contribution to evidence-based practice. We work with the evidence community to provide digital services that improve the currency and quality of scientific knowledge. So we really work with people. We are created for reviewers by reviewers. We come recommended by Cochrane. We really pride ourselves on ensuring the most robust methodological standard. Even though we are a core component of Cochrane's review production toolkit, our 20,000 plus subscriber base isn't just limited to Cochrane authors. So we have a lot of institutional partnerships, and these range from some of the largest Ivy League universities in the US and top universities around the world to small research teams even in low and low middle income countries, and then everything in between. Particularly a lot of guideline groups are using Covidence. We aren't just limited to medical research either. A lot of our support requests and inquiries come from people from all walks of life. So I know we have a lot of people using us from spheres of education, psychology, the social sciences, even agriculture, and I know we've got police. So it's really interesting to see. Similarly to how we have a lot of users around the world, our team is based around the world. So I'm based in Melbourne, Australia, and our other community manager is based in Dublin. We've also got people in South America who manage our Spanish language community, and people in the US. So similarly, if you'll write into us, we've got people in all different time zones, so you'll hear back from us really soon. As I mentioned earlier, Covidence is made for reviewers by reviewers. So I personally am a practicing pharmacist, and I used to work as a health economist, and I really kick myself every day that I didn't use Covidence more in my previous role. I'll move on to the tool now. So with your systematic review, you have your research question, and you might construct your PICO, and then you'll do your search of the literature, and you'll import those search results into Covidence. So you can see here is my review list dashboard. These are my active reviews. I can also archive a review, and that will just move to my inactive list. So you would create a new review, and you would give it a title specific to your PICO question. And once you've done that, the first step would be to import results. So I've set up a demo review here, and I've imported some citations just so we can get a feel for Covidence. So to import, you would just go to the Import Studies tool, which is in the top left-hand corner. And you can see here that Covidence will accept a file from an XML file from either EndNote or PubMed with XML formatting, or a text file that has either CRS or IRS formatting. So what I would recommend often is to import into EndNote and then export from EndNote into Covidence. So if you've got something that's in a format that's not here, you could easily import into EndNote and then export from EndNote into Covidence. So I would do that for something like Covidence, for clinicaltrials.gov. So you can really get anything into Covidence. It's not limited. So if you are importing, say, into title and abstract screening, and you just choose your file, so you can see here I've got some XMLs, they're just from EndNote, and then I click import. And that's importing. And here you're getting a sneak peek of what the screening looks like. So you've got my citation, my abstract, and then I can vote either no, yes, or maybe. You can also choose to display more than 10 at a time. You can display up to 50, and you can display by either author, title, or most recent. And most recent is referring to whether you've put an action towards that citation. So if you want to look back at some work that you've done and you search by most recent, then that will be at the top of your list. So that's really helpful. So you can see I've already got 40 citations in this list, and I'm importing another 40. and that's finished, but none have gone in, and that's because I've imported the same file twice. And Covidence has detected them as duplicates. So Covidence will automatically detect your duplicates, both within a file and across citations which are already in your review if you import a new file. So in order to check that, you just go to the Manage Imports tab from your Import Study tool. And here you can see all of your imports. And you can check for duplicates. So here I had 40 references and all were detected as a duplicate. And you can check what those 40 were. And if you decide that one was not actually a duplicate and it was taken out mistakenly, you can just return it to your list by clicking not a duplicate. So I've never seen a reference taken out mistakenly. I'm getting a question on how we actually deduplicate. Covidence will check on title, year and volume, all of which must match exactly, and the authors must be similar. So we'll never take, as I said before, I've never seen Covidence take out a reference mistakenly, and that's really conducive with my working style, particularly from coming as a health economist, in which you are under intense scrutiny. Covidence, the way that it deduplicates, is highly reproducible. If there's no other questions on import, I know we've got this third tab up here. This is an Import PDFs in Bulk tool, which is available to subscribers, and it allows you to import all of your PDFs in bulk. So I can get to that when we move on to full text review stage, which is the part where you would have to upload all of your PDFs. We can come back to that, but it is a tool that really does save a lot of time. So if we move on to screening, you can see here I've got my dashboard and I've got my 3 stages of working Covidence. So it's really task driven. It's also really team based. So you can see on the left hand side I've got my team progress, and our team has voted on 17 citations twice. So the default setting in Covidence would be to have 2 co-reviewers voting on each citation, and you could have as many people as you like in your team if you're a subscriber. We actually really encourage collaboration, and you can also work all at the same time, but each citation would need 2 people voting, and that could be a different 2 each time. So if we go through screening, first would be title and abstract screening, and you can see I've got the option to vote no, maybe, or yes. And if a citation receives 2 no votes, it will move to my irrelevant list. If it receives 2 yes or maybe votes, it will move forward to full text review. And if it receives conflicting votes, so either a no and a maybe and a no and a yes, it will move to my resolve conflicts list, and then it will just require a 3rd and deciding vote. So if we cast a few votes, you'll see that that will move my citations to my awaiting other reviewer list, because I'm currently the only reviewer in this, but my other co-reviewers won't know what citations I voted on and also how I voted. So all voting is blinded, and that comes back to our mission of really ensuring the best quality of systematic reviewing and ensuring that we're not introducing any bias in allowing people to see our votes. Another great tip for screening is you can use the tags function. So if I want to add a tag to a citation, I just need to click which citation I want to be tagged, and then I can use this tag. I can either choose one of the pre-programmed ones, which is ongoing study or awaiting classification, or I can create my own tag. And you'll see now that that's tagged with tag 1. And then I can filter by tags as well. And you can filter by keywords too. So there's my tag. And it will say that I've just got that in the one study, and it's this one. At the full text review screening stage, you can also filter by those without full text, so you know which ones need a full text added. So that's really handy. The other great thing I love is putting keywords. So if you put a keyword for inclusion, it will show up in green, and if you put a keyword for exclusion, it will show up in red. And we can do that via settings. It's this final tab, criteria and exclusion reasons, keywords. So here I've got random as a keyword for inclusion and HIV as a keyword for exclusion. So they'll show up in green and in red, and they will show up at both screening stages. So at title and abstract screening and at full text review. So here we go. So this one's obviously conducted in HIV, so I'm likely to be able to exclude that if, for example, you were looking at hepatitis B or C. Do we have any questions about title and abstract screening? I mean, hopefully you can see just how much time it really saves. So time is just so precious. A couple of years ago, we did some studies comparing Covidence to standard methods like Excel. And we found that there was an average of 35% reduction in time spent per review, which equated to about 71 hours per review. Now, obviously, if you did a larger review, that would equate to more hours saved. We're currently rerunning these, and that's in a randomised study, and it's looking like even greater efficiency gains. So already we estimate that Covidence has saved 1 million person hours directly, and if we were to stay on current estimates, this is likely to be 8 million person hours before 2020. So it just blows my mind. Our CEO is actually really passionate and really involved in the future of systematic reviews, which is likely to be automation, which is when computers would have more of a role, and also in living systematic reviews, so that's systematic reviews that are updated frequently, sort of in real time. And with these types of efforts, it's probably more likely to be 16 million person hours saved through Covidence. So all that's just really exciting, and I hope it does show to you just how much time we save and the power that we have. I'm getting a question about assigning references, and this does come up a lot. So Covidence actively discourages signing references due to the level of bias that it can introduce. And what we would recommend instead is that you tell each of your co-reviewers to aim for a certain number, but to vote on a random number of citations. Aim for a certain number, but vote on random citations. So in order to aim for that number, you can track your progress. And this comes back to me saying how we were just so task-driven and team-based. So under settings, under team settings, you can track your progress. So you can see in this review, I'm the only reviewer, but I've contributed 4 votes. And you can also manage rules. So you can have a certain reviewer that must screen all citations or resolve all conflicts. This works really well if you've got, say, someone who's more senior in your team. And you can do that at each of the levels. So full text screening and data extraction. I might move forward to full text review screening. So this would be where you would upload your PDFs. You can do it one at a time by clicking add full text and just choosing the file locally from your computer. So the progress bar is nearly done. Finished. So if you click on add view full text, that will just bring it up in a separate tab on your browser. Now you can see all of your PDFs will be in the one spot, so there's no need for file sharing or emailing amongst your team, which I love. The other thing I wanted to touch on is importing your PDFs in bulk. So this is, as I said, available to all subscribers. And to do this, it's from the Import Studies tool and then this final tab. So it's just a 2-step process where you would first drag your XML, which contains your list of citations. And then the second step would be to just upload those PDFs. So you can see here it's found the 9 studies. And now if I find those studies, so it's just going to upload them really quickly, and you can do that with hundreds at a time. And again, all of your PDFs will be attached to each reference in the one spot, all on the cloud, and your entire team can access them. So that's all done. So now if we were to screen our full text, again, we've got those tips that I mentioned before about tags and also highlighting keywords. You can also add a note, so you can put a note that you've contacted the author on the whichever date. And that will be visible to your co-reviewer. full text review stage, you've got, here's an example of random as a word for inclusion. At the full text review stage, you've got the option to vote to either include or to exclude, and if you exclude, you must give a reason for exclusion, and this comes with a pre-programmed list, but you can also edit this list, so you can delete it and add to it as you see fit. In order for a citation to move forward to data extraction, it must receive 2 include votes if you're on dual reviewer mode, and it must receive, to move to excluded, it must receive 2 exclude votes and for the same reason. So if 2 co-reviewers vote to exclude for different reasons, it will move to your resolve conflicts list, and that will just require a third and adjudicating vote. And as I mentioned previously, you can manage who resolves those conflicts. Have I got any questions about screening? Just go show some examples. So you can see I'm the only co-reviewer, so they'll all move to my waiting other reviewer list. Might move forward to data extraction. So we've got 3 studies for data extraction in this review. And the first one that you open, that will become your template. So if we add a full text and then open that first study, so the progress is almost done. So if we were start with our quality assessment risk of bias. So the first time you open your quality assessment, you'll be asked to choose either the Cochrane risk of bias template or the custom template. And it doesn't matter whichever you choose because you can edit that. So if we, for instance, choose the Cochrane risk of bias template, then that will give us the 7 domains, and we can edit these domains so we can delete or add to them however we see fit, simply by clicking edit domains. The pencil icon, we can delete or we can edit it, or we could add our own by adding a domain. And you can choose to have them apply to individual outcomes. So if we were to make a judgment, you can annotate directly from the PDF and it will copy over those annotations for you. So if you choose the domain you wish that to apply to, click save, that will copy across, which is fantastic. You can also put a comment, whatever that may be, any type of free text, and then you would put your overall risk of bias. So in this instance, I put it as high and I would click save, and you would do that for each of your domains. Your co-reviewer would do the same, and once you've both clicked complete, then you'll be able to complete your consensus, and it's not until you've completed consensus that you can export your results, and that's to prevent people from peeking at their co-reviewers' results. I'm getting a few questions about template management. So as I mentioned, the first form that you open will form your template, and any changes that you make to this, they will be applied to all of your newly opened forms. So if we were to go back to our study list and to open a new study, you can see this first study that I opened has now become my review template. If I were to open another study, this would get all of those domains, so it would get the 7 Cochrane domains plus the other one that I added. If I were to make an edit on this form, it won't apply retroactively to my template form or to any other forms. So if we were, say, to add a domain, you can see I've got the new domain. This won't be on my template form. So now we go back to the template form and you see that it will not have that other domain, domain 1. If I were to make another change on my template form, so let's delete the one that we've added. Now I've just got the Cochrane risk of bias form. If I go back to that study that I've already opened, those changes won't apply because I've already opened that study. So you can see here it still has patient withdrawals in domain 1. But if I were to open the third study, it would get the latest version of the template. And that applies with your data extraction too. If we were to move forward to data extraction, you can see this is loosely based around a PICO, and it's also formatted in this way so that it will export directly to RevMan. So you've got our summary first, which has each of the tabs: identification, methods, population, interventions, and comparisons and outcomes. Identification details of the study, so the sponsorship source, inpatient, outpatient, all of that information. You can also add another field. For example, you might put the year that the study was conducted. And again, you can put any type of text. Methods, so you would choose your study design from the drop-down list, and if it's not in the drop-down list, you can choose your own and write free text. And again, you can add fields as you wish. Same with population, you can add fields. As you can see, Covidence is fully customizable. You would put inclusion and exclusion criteria of participants at baseline and whether there were any group differences, any other data you might want to capture, and then those actual baseline characteristics. So you would need to put your interventions first. So if we had, for example, drug A versus placebo, and we can enter all of the details of those. So it might be dosage as an example, and you would be able to put that information for each drug. And then once you've got your interventions, you can put your population characteristics. So again, you can add characteristics. So that might be the sex distribution at baseline. And you can put all of that information by arm and for overall. Finally, you can add your results. So you would have your outcome name. Type would be continuous, dichotomous, or adverse event, which is effectively time to event. So for example, if we chose continuous, here you can choose either of these standard measures, and they're standard because they'll map directly to RevMan, or you could choose your own custom measure. And if you choose a custom effect measure, you can put any type of information. So you could put text for a qualitative outcome or any of these numerical outcomes. I'll show a standard one, and you can have it apply to certain groups. And you can add time points, and there's no limit to the number of time points that you add. So you can see I'm just making this up. And again, you can add more time points. And again, the process would go. So once you've completed your data extraction, you would click complete, and your co-reviewer would click complete, and then you would be able to complete consensus, and then you would be able to export your data. And you can export that to Excel CSV, or you can export that to RevMan. So if there's no more questions about quality assessment or data extraction, I'll show you what that looks like on an export. Because we've not completed consensus, I might show you on a review that I have that on. So you will just go to your export studies tool. Here you can also export any of your reference lists. So you can import into any of these, and you can also export any of these lists. So if, for example, you had done your title and abstract screening externally and you knew which ones were irrelevant, you could import that directly into your relevant list, and you can also export that to list. And you can export that to any of your reference managers or to CSV Excel. If we were to export our data extractions, so our exported data, and download that. So you can see here, this was loosely my PICO. So details of the study, the design, population characteristics, interventions, and outcomes. It's all exported for you, all of your data. And then it's exported per reviewer. And consensus was at the top. And this is for each completed study. we go back to exporting RevMan. So RevMan is the software that's developed by Cochrane and enables you to conduct a meta-analysis. So it's the statistics. You would just upload a blank RevMan file, and then Covidence automatically populates that for you. So it's literally all done for you. Your forest plots, everything will be done for you. So it just saves a huge amount of time. And because it's automatically populated, there's none of those transposing errors. So you can see here, it's all done. All of your quality assessments are copied across here. So you could automatically populate your risk of bias summary figures. It's really all done for you. The last thing that Covidence will automatically do for you is your Prisma flowchart. So you can see here I've imported 46 citations, no duplicates, 29 were screened at title and abstract, 11 were excluded, 7 were screened at full text, and I've excluded 3, and it will show your reasons, and then there were 4 that were included. So Covidence will automatically do your Prisma for you. So hopefully you can see that Covidence just gives an outstanding user experience. It's not only our mission, it's not only that we're a mission-driven organisation, but we're also a user-driven organisation, and that's the key to achieving our mission. So we really pride ourselves on this. Our team loves Covidence, and our users really love Covidence, and I hope that you will too. All of your data, I hope you can see, was just in the one place. It's really easy to collaborate, and it's just saves so much time, and time's just so precious. I really encourage you to check us out so you can get on board with our mission. You can see our website at covidence.org. You can reach out to us at product@covidence.org if you want any information on our subscriptions and partnerships. And if you've got a support question, please do reach out to us at support@covidence.org. You can do this within the app by pressing on this question mark to the top right-hand corner and sending us an email. And if you do that from within the app, I'll be able to see where you got stuck. You can also view our knowledge base, which has answers to frequently asked questions. I'm just seeing one final question, and it's how do we compare to Distiller? So I'll try not to talk about Distiller, and I'll try and keep this answer to Covidence, but I've heard the community manager really sum this up by saying that Covidence is a fully assembled bike, as an analogy. So we come fully assembled, it's got everything you need to get from A to B in what we feel is the most methodologically sound way, versus other competitors who have lots of different parts that can be put together in all different ways. So if you know how to put it back together, which I don't, then maybe that would be another option. So I hope that all makes sense, and I hope that you found the presentation useful. Please do, as I said, reach out to us if you have any questions or comments. So thank you so much for your time.